Well, it's 10:30. I think we can go ahead and get started with our board meeting today. Could everybody rise, please? And Joe, would you mind leading the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. So we'll move into our agenda. Our normal first item of business is to consider the minutes of our last board meeting on February 18th.
I have reviewed the minutes of the last board meeting and move that we approve.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Next, we have claims of 2.55.78 million, $2,163,455.78.
I have reviewed the claims and move that we approve the claims as presented.
I've reviewed them also, and I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Under old business, we have a bid award. Nikki Grigsby, our district administrator, will cover that.
I'm filling in for John Barlow today. At the board meeting a month ago, bids were taken for CL2 and SO2. After the attorney reviewed those bids, we asked that it would be awarded to JCI Jones Chemical.
Mark, I assume everything was in order
Yes.
on the bids?
Yep.
Okay. Have a motion?
I would move that we accept that.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, we've gone through a process. We have a combined sewer overflow long-term control plan and other projects that we need, and we've kind of packaged together a number of projects. And we're going to utilize an alternative construction delivery method, which we call our guaranteed maximum price energy savings delivery method. This will be the fourth time this district's used that with a great deal of success. So we put out an RFQ. A number of proposals were selected. We shortlisted the two and interviewed both of those earlier this month. And I think Joe would like to go ahead and announce our selection.
It's taken quite a little bit of time to put this together, and Mike's been very instrumental in doing all this for us, but we had some very good contractors, two of the probably biggest contractors in the state of Indiana that gave us back GMAX bids on this. And after our review, the board has selected Boat Engineering to move forward with our next round of projects, which will take us about 30 months to complete. So we're going to tear the town up again. So enjoy. But thank you for your participation, and thank you for what you've done for the city of Muncie so far in this district. And hopefully we will have another good round. So thank you.
Any questions? Joe, we good? Mark, you good? Okay. Congratulations to Bowen. Thank you. The next, we have Alex White at GRW for change order number 2 at our combined sewer overflow 002.
Yes, thank you. We're working on getting the drill completed on the CSO2 project to reroute the sanitary sewer from the Dudley-Coon Street area down to the property on Ribble. The first portion of the drill has been completed there, and we did run into a few issues there that are covered by the change order that we're recommending today. There was an unmarked, unknown 16-inch abandoned gas main that was directly over the alignment that we were attempting to drill at, which caused some great issues, along with some unknown site conditions, some buried debris through a portion of that property that we were unaware of, that caused some lengthy delays or additional time for the contractor to drill that portion, and also some damage to equipment. In addition to that portion, which was done on a kind of unsuccessful first drill, the second drill then was completed. And there's a portion of that that has a little bit of grade issue that we've looked to have the contractor install. Basically, we've rejected the drill pipe in the first portion there and have them install that via open cut as per the original bid prices. So Essentially, it's kind of a two-drill process, and I'm certainly available to answer questions that you'd have about the issues that have come out there, but
And just excuse me, but now we're gonna open cut a little piece of this, is what you're telling
it's
me?
between
Okay.
Kuntz and Brotherton, which is the most accessible portion of it. We initially looked to drill it just because we were drilling the portion through the CSX and the Cardinal Greenway and some of the large site clearing areas and problem areas. We didn't, intentionally intended to drill the portion between Kuntz and Brotherton as well. And because of the grade issues there, we're looking to just accept an open cut bid price for that portion and have them do that portion.
I see there, we're going to extend the contract date by 29 days.
Yes.
Is that enough?
Yeah, we believe so. They have, as I said, the first portion, the portion within the Vectren property, fenced-off property is installed, and we're willing to accept that if they can open cut the portion between Kuntz and Brotherton. And they also have the drill set up and CSX lined up within the next week to finish the portion of the drill between the Vectren site and the Ribble property. So everything is lined up to hopefully have that drill completed over the next week and have the open cut portion, which is 300 feet or so, within the next week or two, and they'd be ready to get that sewer completed.
Maybe a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
That's good, because this is an older bond issue that we do need to
Need to
close
spend,
out
yeah.
in the month of May, so we're kind of running up against it.
Absolutely, and I know there's other construction pending in that area as well that we'd like to get this project done and out of the way of, so.
Very good.
The total change order amount for SC Case then would be $33,096.45, bringing the total contract price to $219,876.45, which is still below the engineer's estimate for the project, so we'd recommend approval.
I would move that we accept.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you.
Next, we have a salary resolution. Nikki Grigsby?
I think that you both had ample time to review the resolutions that I have in front of you today. 2016-05, or 2016-04, pardon me, is an amendment to the salary resolution that I would ask that you pass today.
I would move that we accept the resolution 2016-04.
Yeah, I'll second that.
Thank you.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. The next one is another resolution requesting authority to acquire property. Nikki?
Resolution 2016-05, I'm asking that you give the Realtor permission to engage in conversation with property owners. Again, I want to emphasize that this does not mean the purchase of property. This is strictly the permission to speak to the property owners.
Nikki, I guess a lot of these are properties that will be looked at or used for something in our next go-round of projects.
All of the
with-
property that we ask that we be able to speak to the property owners is tied to one of two things, and that's either the levee or the sewer separation.
We are, just like 02, we are separating 3 more basins with this next round of projects, 25, 26, and 28.
Yeah.
Both of these look like they're in those areas,
They are.
so, okay? And again, this just lines it up. It doesn't necessarily mean we're going to do any action on any particular property.
I think it's safe to say at this point, the engineers are not far enough along in that design to determine the direction that is for sure that they're going to take. But if we get down the road, we need to know where we stand and what's our options are. So this is the initial engagement.
Okay.
Right.
This could be easements or
Yes.
acquisition.
Yes.
Very good.
I'd move that we accept resolution 2016-05.
I'll second that. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And the last item under our new business is engagement letter for legal services.
Actually, there's one right before that, number 5. It's a resolution regarding a reimbursement payment
sorry.
option.
I'm-
And what has happened is when the software switch happened with the city, it was found that a couple of employees, their certifications were not removed and there was an overpayment. What I'm asking you to do is allow these 4 employees to take that out of their extended sick bank to reimburse the Muncie Sanitary District. And this is a one-time resolution.
So in other words, they're gonna pay it back through an internal way of doing it.
What happens is if they don't utilize their vacation days, it goes into an accruement. We will be taking it out of that bank because otherwise they would be able to use that time. So,
Okay, all right.
does that make sense?
Yep. I will move that we accept Resolution 2016-06.
I'll second that, and I assume our legal counsel, we're good with this?
Yes, Nikki was very specific about
Okay.
that this is a one-time departure from, because it does depart from the handbook.
Yeah.
Okay,
But, I mean, really just cutting the break to the employees. This wasn't through any fault of their own.
Right.
They've got to pay it back. So just trying to lessen that financial impact on them.
Good.
all right, we have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Now we can go to the last item.
We can. The very last thing that I have for you today is we changed a couple of things in the engagement letter with the attorneys. I think you've both had the opportunity to review that. So I would ask that you accept the new revised engagement letter between the Muncie Sanitary District and Malapa and McKinney.
I would move that we accept the engagement letter with our present attorneys, McKinney and Malapat.
I would second, I think our original is fairly dated now. It's got several years on it.
Almost 2.
Okay. Kind of an update then, in task and rate. Okay. Very good. I would second the motion. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Now we'll open it up to any public comments anyone like to make, present to the board and the audience. Okay, seeing none, we appreciate you attending. Our next meeting is March 31st.